Oh, hey, oh, sorry about that. Hey y'all, this is David, and on Cameras and Coffee today, I'm gonna talk about some stuff that's kind of been like lingering in the background. Some interesting little stuff that I've come up with. First thing I want to talk about is Nikon, okay? Nikon's been in the news a lot the last few days, week or so, what have you. And apparently Petapixel wrote a huge article about how they're in financial straits or some crap. I don't know how they got this insider information that's privy to pretty much the board of directors, but somehow they can understand that. What I've seen with the lens roadmap and the fleshed out part of said roadmap and the camera lineup, they don't seem to be hurting too bad. I mean, lens development ain't cheap, and there's a bunch of big glass coming. I'll just be honest with you. If they were going into bankruptcy, I don't know. That's all I want to say about it. Anyway, what's y'all's thoughts? Do y'all think Nikon's headed down the tube and I need to sell all my Nikon gear and get some Sony equipment? Would that be the best solution? So, point being is, I don't think anything is financially in the straits for pretty much anybody. The market's still contracting. And once it stabilizes to that core group of photographers, then you might start seeing growth again because of enthusiasts, but I think they're still working on that. What's the real market? And they're getting there. It'll be fine. Get your gear out, go take pictures with it. Doesn't matter who makes it, doesn't matter what somebody says about it. Just go use your gear and have fun using it. Anyway, I got a little bit of kind of like informational stuff to go over next. Next thing I want to talk about is I got this fancy dancy XQD card reader. Let's see if we get the camera to focus on it. There it is. Alright, it's a Sony branded card reader, and it's to read these fancy dancy Sony XQD cards, okay? Works great with said XQD cards. I bought my first CF Express card, okay? CF Express cards do not work in this card reader. So if you're thinking you're going to use your XQD card reader with CF Express cards, unfortunately you're wrong. You're going to have to either get a CF Express card reader. How I offload this card is I plug the USB cable straight into the camera, turn the camera on, plug the camera into the computer through USB, and it reads it and I can download straight through the camera. And it actually downloads very fast. I was kind of surprised. It's probably on par with the special reader. I was kind of shocked at how well it worked, but yeah, I got home, went to unload my CF because I ran pretty much out of memory when we were in Arizona last week. I took a bunch of video and filled up my 64 gigabyte XQD card, and my 32 gig card was probably 2/3 full from the Fellowship of the Aperture Ring, and I wasn't sure I had got all the footage and stuff sorted yet, so I was really kind of scared to wipe that card, so I went and bought another one. And it worked fine. The camera immediately recognized it, formatted, off we went. I used it the rest of the week, worked perfectly. It's just that, you know, if you get the Sony XQD SD-XC2 card reader like I have here, it will not read CF Express cards. Just letting you know that. Next thing I got is I got a couple photo books to share with you. This one comes from Darius Jinx. He has a YouTube channel. Alright, I'll link it up here or wherever. But Darius is an Atlanta-based photographer. I found him, it gave me a suggestion for him when he was in Denver doing street photography. And I immediately subscribed to his channel because he's an early YouTuber. You know, he doesn't have a huge channel, but he's real passionate about his street photography. He loves street. And once he went from, I think he went to somewhere in California after he got done in Denver. He went to another major city and stayed there a little bit, and then when the Rona hit, he went back home to Atlanta, and he's been there ever since. So while he's been in Atlanta, he's got his book called A Tale of Two Diseases. While he's been there, he's basically documented the racial injustice in Atlanta as well as the coronavirus in his book. These photos were taken in Atlanta and Nashville, Tennessee. He's got him a little intro page, bio. And he's created what is called a trade show book. So The pages are matte finished, and it's really neat to see because he starts out with how bleak everything is during the coronavirus. You know, and there's nobody out on the streets, and it's all quiet, and all the stores are closed, and there's just a few people out. And then later on in the book, it starts to shift to the riots, and he documents those riots. He got out in the middle of this with his camera and documented it for future generations. And I applaud him for doing that because it was dangerous being here. This is not a safe place, and lots of people were not brave enough to go where this was happening and document this. So if you're interested in his book, you can go to his channel. You can reach out to him there. He has a Instagram channel. I think it's Jinx on the Streets is his Instagram handle. If I can find the link that he gave me to get the book, because I was watching the video when he talked about this. He has a video about it, so if I can find that video, I'll put it up here. But his book is actually very economical. It's not a huge book, and I think it was only like $17. It was very reasonable to be a hardback book. It's a really good little photo book by a young and upcoming photographer who does really good street photography. I want to show you that one. And then I got this book. This book has let me see if I can even read it. Declaración de Aduana. I think I'm saying that right. This book came from Mexico, all right? I can't even say some of these words, I'm sorry. Remitente, I'm guessing. I think he's in Sonora, Mexico, if I'm right. But I haven't opened it yet, so I'm gonna open it for you guys as well as me. Kind of excited to see this book. Now, this book came from one of my subscribers, and he put out his first photo book. Let's see what we got here. Okay, inside the envelope is a taped box. He's got it taped really good. It's going to survive the journey. Ah, there we go, there we go. Oh, he done linen cover. That's why it cost so much. This book was not $17. It was the wife. Now that that's done, back to the book. Okay, this book traveled through customs in Mexico, so it took me a while to get it. It took like the whole process of mailing something from Mexico to the United States takes a good while. As a matter of fact, and he was kind of worried about me getting it or not, because we have been in contact on Instagram through direct message pretty much the whole time. He started asking me if I got my book or not about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, here it is. It's Focaris, if I'm saying that right, by Adrian Estrella Lopez. Oh, it's written all in Spanish. I'm gonna have to learn Spanish just so I can read it. Introducción. Focaris, Vaz. Man, I'm gonna butcher this so bad if I try to read this. This is awesome. I'll figure out how to decode this so I can read it. Oh, good. He wrote it in English and Spanish. Interesting. Yeah. He's got a title page in Spanish. The next page, title page in English. So I don't have to decode it. You got the Spanish version, Mexican version, my bad. Then you got the English translation behind it, which is cool. Patrimonial voice of the Latin fire seal of fire derived from the home focus. By metonymy, it designates habitual residence and family environment because it was previously associated with the family unit from the etymological family of fire. That's the definition of Focaris. This is my first photo book. I chose Focaris as a name for the family, which is like fire. It warms us and gives us what it takes to feel safe and loved. And it goes on. Interesting. And what he's done, since he's been kind of under quarantine himself, he made a project out of photographing his home and light and shadow near his home. And I've seen a bunch of these photos on his Instagram. See? And he's just documenting life in Mexico. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some of these pictures. I have seen on his Instagram account. I know that one's made it. This is awesome. This may just be, no, there's more here than what's on his Instagram, because that photo wasn't on it. Yeah, this is cool. See? But I've been looking forward to this, but he's linen covered it, and it even has that like library smell to it. That's a nice book. That's why it was much more expensive than just a regular photo book. I think I paid $60 or $70 for it. But I was curious to support Adrian a little bit because he's been working hard on this, and he also watches my YouTube channel and regularly participates in it. He's very active. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's pretty cool lighting. He's been working on his lighting real hard, and it's just been a lot of fun to go through this little process with him and to kind of be one of the first people to get one of his books. He's been dealing with the pandemic down in Mexico just like we have been here in the US, and he wants to explore photography, and he's been working really hard on it and getting really good. It's a really good book, and he's done a really good job at building his book. Well done. Thank you, Adrian. This is awesome. But yeah, this book is cool. So if you got a chance to find out about him, you can find him. You go to his Instagram, give him a follow. Dude, that's awesome. I just wanted to share these photo books from more down-to-earth photographers rather than like these huge heavy hitter YouTubers who basically are making a living off of selling photo books. These guys, these books tell a local story where these guys live. All right, these to me have more heartfelt value, you might say, than a book full of beautiful sunsets. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that landscape photographers, you know, are whatever. I'm just saying that these let you see a little into their lives, because it's coming from their local community. It's not beautiful scenes of Iceland and Patagonia and Thailand, and where they've traveled to all these beautiful photography destinations and gathered all these glorious landscape images. And those books are fine. You know, they're beautiful and they're a lot of fun to look at. But these books tell a more personal story. That's why that drew my attention just to these particularly, especially when I heard them. And honestly, Dieris was the one that got me started on putting a blurb book together myself, and it's kind of in process, and I'm going to work on it some more probably in December, and I'll probably have it done in January, and it's going to be kind of like 2020 in my world right in here. And it'll have a few little clips where I ventured out, you know, where I went to Maggie Valley or Sedona finally because they opened up some, but it's mostly going to be about what I did in 2020 and the stuff I saw, and I'm going to try and carry it chronologically through the book is the intention. If you get a chance to support a smaller photographer that's trying to put a photo book together, I vote you do it. It's just, I would rather see these guys get started into a craft they love, and they're trying their hardest to do it. That's what these books tell me. They're putting in the work, if that makes sense. I've rambled long enough. This has been David, the Georgia photographer, and I wanted to have cameras and coffee with you guys for a few minutes and talk about some stuff. So until next time, I don't have a camera with me. I have an iPhone. I'm talking to a camera. But until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.